He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're not my real dad. You're nobody." So I smiled and told him to ask his real father to pay for college. My name is Robert, and I'm 45 years old. I own one of the most successful elite wine bars in my city, a place I built with my own hands from absolutely nothing. Every inch of it, every light fixture, every bottle on the shelf, it all came from years of blood, sweat, and ambition. And that wine bar introduced me to someone who I thought was going to be the love of my life, Melissa. She was a bookkeeper I hired to help manage the financial side of my growing business. Smart, efficient, polished. But there was something more about her, something warm, calming. She had this quiet elegance that made those late nights reviewing ledgers feel almost comforting. At first, everything was professional. She was new. I didn't want to cross any lines. But as weeks passed, I found myself hanging around her office a little longer than I needed to, making excuses to check in. Eventually, I asked her out. "Dinner?" I said one night after we wrapped up month-end reports. She looked at me curious. "As my boss or as a man?" "As a man." One dinner turned into 2, then 5. Then we were talking about a future. She had a son, Ethan. He was about 12 then. Quiet, polite, good manners. And I thought, this is it. This is the family I've been waiting for. Within a year, we were married. Melissa and Ethan moved into my house, and I didn't hesitate. I dove headfirst into the role of stepdad. I took Ethan to games, helped him with school projects, made sure he had the newest sneakers, the best gadgets, everything I wished I had at his age. We went on family vacations, weekend trips. I did everything. He still saw his biological father, Kevin, occasionally. And to be honest, I was never comfortable with that. From what I knew, Kevin was the reason Melissa left in the first place. Drunken rampages, nearly burning down their apartment, losing custody after multiple incidents. But Melissa insisted, Ethan needs to know his father still cares. He's sober now. I bit my tongue. I played my part. After all, I was just the stepdad, right? God, if only I'd known then what I know now. Years flew by. Suddenly, it was Ethan's 18th birthday. His graduation was around the corner, and I wanted to do something special. He'd been stressed, pacing around the house for weeks. So I made a suggestion. "Why not throw your birthday party at the wine bar?" I offered. His eyes lit up. "Seriously? My friends are going to lose it. This is going to be huge." We planned the whole thing. Designer suit, black and sleek, virgin cocktails, custom menu, decorations, the works. I even asked him for a guest list. He brushed it off. "Just plan for 30. The night came. The bar was glowing with golden light, warm chatter, soft music. Ethan looked sharp, laughing with friends. Everything was perfect. Until he walked in, Kevin, unsteady, glassy-eyed, clearly drunk. "I'm here to see my son," he bellowed across the bar, staggering toward our table. He locked eyes with me and sneered, "Get up. That's my seat. I'm his real father." I stayed calm. "There's a seat at the next table. You're welcome to join the other guests." "No," he growled. "You need to leave. You think this is your place? You think you bought my family?" Then, crash. He grabbed a plate of hors d'oeuvres and hurled it to the ground. Then another. Shards of glass, cheese, meat, bottles tipping, guests gasping. My security team stepped in quickly, calmly. They escorted him out. His drunken screams echoed until the front door finally shut behind him. The party limped on, but the magic was gone. The Instagram dream Ethan wanted had turned into a tabloid nightmare. The next morning, Ethan barely spoke. The days that followed were colder than any winter I'd lived through. Ethan stopped acknowledging me. When I walked into a room, conversations died. When I suggested therapy, Melissa waved it off. He just needs space. But everything kept unraveling. Graduation came. I clapped so hard my palms stung. We threw a party at home. Crab cakes, truffle fries, the absurd 3-tier chocolate cake Ethan loved. He was smiling, chatting. I thought, maybe we're healing. Then his phone rang. He walked into the hall to take it. Came back minutes later with a look I'll never forget. Cold, defiant. "My dad's coming over," he said. "He wants to congratulate me." My heart sank. "Absolutely not," I said. "He ruined your birthday. Only because you wouldn't move." Ethan exploded. "You should have let him sit. He's my real dad, not you." It felt like a punch straight to the chest. I turned to Melissa, desperate. "Please say something." She stared at her lap. Something inside me broke. "That was my wine bar," I said, trying to keep calm. I threw that party for you. I bought that suit. I gave you everything. And he showed up drunk, caused a scene, destroyed property. He didn't even bring you a gift. Ethan's face twisted with rage. Here we go again. It's always about money with you. You think you can buy love. Then he turned to his friends. My real dad is coming. At least he's normal. He turned to me, pointing. You're not my dad. You're nobody. You don't get to tell me anything. The room froze. Everyone heard it. They left, one by one, not a single goodbye. When I turned to Melissa, surely she would say something now. She looked up and snapped. You had no right to bring up money. That was low. My God, this is who she really is. I laughed bitterly. Where were you when your ex was smashing plates at my bar? When your son humiliated me in front of 30 people? You're the adult, she hissed. Act like it. I stood up, and you're the coward. She left the room. Door slammed. The next week, war. Ethan treated me like a ghost, wouldn't talk to me directly, wouldn't even say my name. Then one evening, he burst into the dining room. Dad, I got into NYU. He hugged Melissa. They celebrated. Then he turned to me. Tell your husband he needs to pay for my tuition. I smiled, but not kindly. No. What? His smile dropped. You made it crystal clear. I'm not your dad. I'm nobody. So let nobody pay for college. Ask your real dad. He erupted, tears, screaming. Melissa demanded I do the right thing. I stood firm. Not a chance. Then came the threat. Either pay for Ethan's tuition or I'll file for divorce. I didn't flinch. Okay, get divorced. Her jaw dropped. She wasn't expecting that. I told her she and Ethan could start looking for a new place. The silence that followed was glorious. The next morning, they tried the apology routine. Fake smiles, warm voices. We all overreacted. We're a family. Ethan chimed in. If you pay tuition, it'll show you want to make this right. I pulled out my phone. Divorce papers will be ready this afternoon. Boom. Their faces dropped. I turned to Ethan. Congrats. You'll never have to deal with your not dad again. Isn't that what you wanted? Ethan cried. Real tears this time. Melissa stormed upstairs. I just sat back and watched them pack. That night, the messages started. Melissa, let's talk this out like adults. I'm sorry if I hurt you, but this is unfair. Then the venom. You're destroying this family. You'll die alone. I ignored it all. The divorce was quick. My prenup was ironclad. Melissa got nothing. Ethan didn't go to NYU. I heard he's working retail now. Melissa's bookkeeping career is tanking. I redecorated the house, got rid of everything that reminded me of them. The space feels lighter. I used to think that love meant sacrifice, that maybe just gave enough, they'd accept me. But the truth is, you can't buy respect. You can't beg for loyalty. And you sure as hell can't invest in people who only see you as a wallet. Now, I invest in myself. And if that makes me nobody in their eyes, then I'm proud to be nobody.